I've heard maybe rumors of that changing, so that'd be pretty cool. Maybe a little road alternate. I think that'd be pretty cool. But yeah, I also like just like our iconic, white Old English D uniforms. I think they're pretty clean.
I need one pitch, one pitch. Just like now,
That was good. Hey, let's bring on Tarik Skubal from the Detroit Tigers and start off in a fun way. How was that, Tarik? Good to see you. And how was that little exchange with Salvi? I love that stuff.
Yeah, I mean that was. I finally got him out the third time. If you looked at the exit velos from the first two at bats, though, they weren't in my favor. So yeah, I think that was cool. I mean, obviously, I got to talk with him a little bit in Texas, and that was pretty special. So yeah, that was a cool moment for me.
What did he tell you in Texas?
I mean, we were just like I just introduced myself to him, and he said hello and kind of congratulated me, and then told me that I was good, and I was like, well, if you think I'm good, dude, you got like a 1400 OPS off me in your career, so what's that say about you? But yeah, that stuff's pretty cool to me.
Love that. Hey, question for you because we haven't had you on since the trade deadline. What were your feelings during that time period? Internally and externally, right? Because internally, there's probably a conversation or two behind the scenes, and Scott Harris, who runs the front office there, said there really wasn't anything close. He's just doing his job like any GM would do. But where were you coming from now that it has passed and you're still with the ball club, of course?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of that stuff is I don't know how true much of it was. The me being the you know main topic with all that stuff. I don't really know how much merit that holds. I guess we'll find out over when all that stuff comes out. I feel like a year later it all comes out. So we'll find out then. But yeah, I mean, I have no control in it, so it is what it is, and that's kind of what I think about. I think the trade deadline stuff is you can make it stressful as a player if you're really worried about where you're going or how things are going to end up. So I try to just focus on taking the mound and being me out there.
Did they call you in and say anything was? Did they even talk to you about it? Were they like, "Hey, these rumors aren't true," or because like a lot of teams will call in their star player, their star pitcher, and say, "Hey, listen, you're hearing things, but this is not true." Because now after the deadline, we're hearing like nothing was ever closed. So did they at least give you the courtesy to call you in and say, "Hey, man, hey, Tarik, this is not true"?
Yeah, I mean, AJ came and talked to me and said, "Hey, if I hear anything, I'll let you know." But as far as what's going on right now, this is all basically rumors, is what it was. There wasn't really a ton of facts to any of it. But I mean, honestly, it's kind of a compliment as a player. If you're linked in all these trade, rumors, it means that teams want you. So there is some sort of positive you can kind of take out of that.
Hey, you did lose your teammate, Jack Flaherty. He's going to a good spot in LA, competing and also getting to play back home ish, right? Close enough to home. So, how tough was that for you to lose, a teammate who hadn't been with you for a long time, but, you two were kind of thriving off each other's intensity and competitiveness. And also, I know you can mix this in. Jack, I've covered him for a long enough time. He pays attention to the media. He sees that there was another trade on the table, and that was even confirmed by your front office man. And the Yanks were like, nah, we don't like the medical enough. And he's about to show the world what's going on. He already did this past weekend.
Yeah, I mean, obviously losing Jack, you don't want to be on the team that's trading away players. You want to be on the team that's trading for players, and Jack being the best, starter available at the deadline. It obviously sucks losing that caliber player, especially when you're in the rotation with them. And if I go game one, he goes game two. I like our odds of winning those games, and it doesn't matter who we're playing. So losing him is tough. Obviously, the competitor that he is, I loved getting to know him. He was a great dude, great teammate. Took care of everybody on the team. Team dinners, all that stuff. Took care of us. I got a ton of respect for him, and I'm excited to see what he does. In LA, and as if he's not crazy enough on start days, I don't think he needs any more, fuel to add to his fire. So. I think he'll channel all that stuff in the right way and use it to his advantage.
Well, I'm glad this is our first way of talking because if I was still playing in that division, our conversation would be similar to probably what Salvi said too to you. So I'm happy about that. But it's been a blast watching you kind of turn into quite literally one of the best pitchers in the league, and definitely one of the best in the AL. And your ascension's been a rapid one. Trying to see how I want to word this. What would you credit the most to your success for this year, to putting it all together, the longevity and the starts that you've been having? What's been working for you the most? Have you made any changes, or what's really clicking that you're using now that you weren't before?
I think I don't really want to say it's one thing. I think it's kind of a group of things. I think when I came back from flexor surgery, the organization, training, weight room, all the pitching staff, AJ, they instilled a ton of confidence in me. And then obviously, the adjustments I made, little small tweaks to my mechanics, changing my routine, really hammering out what I'm doing every fifth, not just what I'm doing on my start day, the 4 days in between, staying consistent in that. And then three, probably, being healthy. I think that something was going on with my arm, probably a lot more than wanted to believe. So having that surgery wasn't the end. Obviously, you don't want to have surgery and get hurt, but having that surgery wasn't the end of the world. It kind of gave me, um, a fresh mind, fresh body to where I can just go out there and play. And I'm healthy now. I truly am healthy. And I think that matters a ton, especially if, you can kind of pitch through things, or you get, banged up here and there. You don't recover as well based on travel, whatever. Right. But, I feel like my body's done a pretty good job of responding. And I feel really good every fifth day. And that's what it's all about.
That's important. Don't listen to Shane Wallen too much. He's just going to have you do chest.
No, that's what I tell him every day. I see him. I'm like, hey, don't be afraid to mix in a leg day, dude. But he's got 80 grade pecs. Like, they're 80 grade. That's a special body. But yeah, he's been huge. He's been huge for me. Just switching up my routine and when I lift and how I'm lifting. I trust all those guys. I trust the training room. They've got my best interests, and I think that goes a long way.
Back, your next start is in Seattle, where you went to college at Seattle University, which I'll be quite honest, I'd never heard of it until I looked at your bio.
Powerhouse.
Yeah. But are you going to have family and friends in Seattle? Like, are you going to host like the entire baseball program and say, hey guys, this is what it's like if you get to the next level?
Yeah, I'm going to try and do that. I've been in contact with the head coach that was there when I was there. Try and get as many guys down there. I know he's coming to the game tonight. We'll see how many turn out the next day. I've texted him. I'm actually waiting for a text back. Just like, hey, if we got any guys, I know summer ball or whatever they're doing right now, and I know they're not in school. So, but if anyone's in the area, I'd love to have them out to the game and, obviously coordinate that stuff and get them all seated in kind of the same section. And I think that'd be pretty special. I think I remember going to games when I was in college, and I watched Edwin Diaz close out a game, and that was the most electric thing I've ever seen. So it's something that I really remember. And then obviously, I watched Paxton throw, and he was kind of my pitching coach at the time. Told me that, hey, this is who you can be. So I watched him, throw, and I studied him, and then obviously I threw against him when he was in LA right before the All-Star break. So that was pretty special. But yeah, I'm going to try and do as much as I can to kind of give back to the program and get him out to a couple games, and because obviously that's the goal, right? When you're playing college baseball.
Big shout out to America's #1 meal kit, HelloFresh, for helping us eat good during this busy time of the year for us. With HelloFresh, you get pre-portioned ingredients and seasonal recipes delivered right to your doorstep. It's home cooking made easy, fun, and affordable.
HelloFresh makes it easy, even for picky eaters like Scott. There's a changing menu of 50 recipes to choose from each week. Customize it to fit your taste. There's protein and veggie swap options too. The recipes are easy to follow. Just choose your delivery day, open your box, cook, and eat.
My house is busy with sports, but family dinners are important. My fam eats better, healthier, and we cook so much easier with HelloFresh.
And for a limited time, kids eat free. Go to HelloFresh.com/FTKids to unlock this exclusive offer. 1 free kids meal per box for 2 months while subscription is active. That's free kids meals just by going to HelloFresh.com/FTKids. Hey, Tarik, we haven't had you on since the All-Star break. So how cool was that, the All-Star experience? And I thought about this and it just came back to me. I was like, oh, we got to ask Tarik about this. They had the messed up earpiece or something.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, Tarik's going to be great. I remember a few years ago, who was it? Manoah was really good when he was talking to us. And I was like, this is you. But it sounded like, not frustration, but you're like, all right, I got to pitch. I can't be like, hey, can we fix this right now?
Well, yeah, I mean, so that was going to be cool because I was supposed to be able to talk to Adley too. So pregame, Adley walks up and he's like, "Hey, what do you throw?" I was like, "Hey, we don't even need to worry about it because I'm going to just tell you what I throw, and you can just tell me what pitches come in, and I think that's going to be pretty cool." And then we get out there and he's like, "Hey, can you hear me?" I'm like, "Dude, I can't hear anything except for like loud static. Like it was like loud too." I'm like, "Guys, I can't. I mean, I couldn't even hear the environment. It was just like it was almost disorienting a little bit." But yeah, that was pretty fun. I was excited for it. I thought that that'd be pretty cool, and for fans or whatever to get a little insight, as to who I am on the mound or what I'm trying to do. But with also like the pitch clock thing, I'm not going to have a pitching change in the All Star or have a meeting in the All Star game. I'm going to get my stuff, my work in, and get out of there. That's kind of the goal, is to get it on the mound and off the mound as fast as possible without giving up runs. So. But yeah, that was cool. Obviously, a missed opportunity, but hopefully get to do that in the future.
Okay, so now I have more questions, but I had two, but now I have three. One, no, when you're at the All-Star game, forget that, dude. You want all the attention. So next time when you pitch in the All-Star game and you're the starter, you go out there and you're like, spotlight right here. Like, you don't want to get out of there quick. Forget that, man. All your sponsors, everybody, all of Detroit was watching you, right? So like, and you're in the Cy Young voting, bring it on. Spotlight me. Oh, call timeout. Be like, Adley, I can't hear. Wait, what? No, Adley, come on. No, come on. Okay. So next time you pitch in the All-Star game, remember that, right? Now, do you always wear the Motor City uniforms at home? Because every time, I swear there's a highlight of you, it's in the Motor City uniform.
It's every Friday home game. Friday home game, and it's been hot lately, so those black jerseys don't do us any favors. But yeah, every Friday home game, and then I think we wore them for a whole weekend because we went on kind of a little heater in them. I think we won like 4 games in a row, so we wore them until we lost. But every Friday home game we wear them, and it just so happens that I feel like I've been throwing a lot of those Friday home games.
Okay, and then last one for me. Do the starting pitchers still get to pick the uniforms and the music of the day? Because back in the day, you had like 3 uniforms, or separate tops, and the starting pitcher's like, oh, I always pitch in black. Now, Detroit only has the D and the Motor City. So if you went to him and said, hey, it's a Tuesday night, I'm Tarik Skubal, I got a chance to win the Cy Young, I went to the All-Star game, I want to wear the Motor City, I'm pretty sure that AJ Hinch would say, you know what, Tarik, if you want to wear your underwear out there, we'll all wear our underwear. Let's go.
Yeah, I mean, if I really wanted to throw in them, I'm sure that we could make that happen. But yeah, we only have whites, and then obviously the Motor City Connect ones, and then on the road we only have grays. But I've heard maybe rumors of that changing, so that'd be pretty cool. Maybe a little road alternate. I think that'd be pretty cool. But yeah, I also like just like our iconic, white Old English D uniforms. I think they're pretty clean. But yeah, I mean, I don't jersey stuff, music. I'm sure some guys care. I'm not one to kind of care too much about what the music's going on or that type of stuff. I kind of just focus my energy on what I'm playing. If I let too many things, I think that's when the superstitious stuff kind of comes into it, and I think that's literally like kind of a slippery slope in terms of how it can take a toll on you mentally. So I try to be. I don't really care that much. I'll wear whatever, listen to whatever. Just not like screamo. We're not going to do screamo on any day I pitch. I can't stand that music. But anything else, I'm pretty good with.
Wait, what's screamo?
You know what screamo is, like when they're like literally screaming into the music. It's like rock screaming. It's like, dude, that's
Yeah.
not music. That's just
Screaming
not.
punk.
Like you're talking like death metal.
Yeah, like death. Like that's not. We're not doing that. I
Okay.
can't stand listening to that.
That's what
stuff.
Kip used to come up to hit to, so don't make fun of it.
That's fine. In 10-second intervals, we're fine.
No, it's
just
not
I
fine.
can't
Don't
listen
listen
to 3
to him.
minutes.
It's not fine. I did not come up to that. We're going to throw some rapid fire questions at you right now. We got some baseballism questions, and there's really no rhyme or reason, so I'm just going to hit you with a couple of them. What's the weirdest thing you've ever autographed?
Ooh, probably like a toddler's, like a baby's shirt. I think that's probably the weirdest thing I've ever autographed. I think that's pretty weird to me.
Do you collect any autographs? And if you do, what's your best part of your collection? What's your top notch one?
Yeah, I think the All-Star game, I got my home jersey. Obviously, everyone signs, the American League side, but I sent over my like the white Old English D jersey to the NL side, and they all signed it for me, which I thought was pretty cool. I think that that's going to probably be one of the coolest items, for me.
I love it. I love it. Song you sang on the bus as a rookie.
It's something by NSYNC. What's like their "Tell Me Why"? Is that the song? Is that the
Bye
name of
bye
the song?
bye.
Yeah, I think it was something like that. "Tell Me Why" or something like that
No,
by
tell me why is Backstreet
NSYNC.
Tell
Boys,
me
isn't
why is
it?
Oh,
Backstreet Boys,
Backstreet
dude.
Boys. That's what it is. That's what it
Listen,
is.
Oh,
Backstreet
you did.
Boys.
as someone
Backstreet
from
Boys.
Orlando, you cannot get them confused. Okay,
No,
so now
I
you're on
apologize.
Twitter, you're going to get annihilated because they're going to be like, Tarik Skubal doesn't know the difference between Backstreet Boys and NSYNC.
Backstreet Boys. Backstreet Boys. That's who it was. Tell Me Why. Backstreet Boys. It was a
Favorite
good one.
road
What's up?
favorite road city.
Ooh, this one's close. Seattle. We're in Seattle right now. This one's close. But I love going to Chicago too. I love going to Chicago.
That's there you go.
I like that. Okay, then I actually saw this question. I really like this one. A historical matchup you would like. So if you could face any player from the past or any maybe 1, 2, 3, pick a top of a lineup. Who would you want to face from the histories of baseball?
Ooh,
It could be present day too.
yeah. That's a damn good question. I think
You
you
want to
got to
go?
throw Barry Bonds. You got to throw Barry Bonds in there. I think
No, you don't want that.
test
You
yourself.
don't want that smoke.
I
You don't
think
want that smoke, Tarik.
I'm not
You don't
saying
want that smoke. I'm
I,
telling you, you don't want that smoke. Don't say it.
yeah, I think. I mean, if I could throw a dream match, I mean, I would love to throw against Barry Bonds. I've never faced Mike Trout in the big leagues. I really want that.
Okay.
Not just like just to. I've never faced him. Obviously, um, Ken Griffey would be another one of those at bats. Those swing. That swing is beautiful. I obviously don't want him to look good. I don't want to see the swing when I'm on the mound. But yeah, I think that those. A-Rod, Jeter, those would be pretty cool. Those would be pretty special at bats, for me.
There you
Yeah,
go.
I like
Don't-
that.
Good
We
choices.
don't bring
Good-
up we don't bring up Jeter to Kip, dude. He deked him so bad one time. There's a famous video. See, look at Kip. We don't bring up Jeter when Kip's on, okay?
You do this intentionally. He did not. I didn't even look at him during this play. It was a straight steal.
Anyways, dude, trust me, Tarik, you don't want to smoke a Barry Bonds because
I just
there's
The
just nowhere
Barry
to
that
go
you
with
played
him.
with, AJ.
Dude, listen, I
Who's
played
the-
with him. There's no
what's the
hole.
at bat?
There's a hole about this big you could get in at.
What's the at bat? Was it Gagne?
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes,
I was
Like
there. I was on
95.
the
He hits a
team.
foul homer.
I was
Yeah,
on
I
the
mean, I
team. I
watched
was
that
in
at
the
bat.
dugout.
Yeah, there's like once a year, everyone it gets brought up like who's the best hitter of all time. When Aaron Judge is doing what he's doing right now, it's like if he does this for 6-7 more years, is he going to be the greatest hitter of all time? And it's like, okay, wait a second, let's go watch Barry Bonds hit a little bit, and then you watch that at bat, and it's like that at bat. I mean, obviously he came out on the wrong end of it, but I bet he is like, I mean, that is one of the most memorable. That's probably the most memorable at bat for his career, I would think, right? Like Barry Bonds, great. You're throwing 95 to 97, and he just turns on one and sends it out into the cove. I think that would be pretty cool. I'd want to face him at the Giants Stadium too. I think that'd be pretty cool for me.
So listen, there was a whole backstory. We were in Japan a couple years, and Gagne told him he said if I face you non-save, non where I can blow a save, I'm gonna throw you all heaters. I get one break, one off speed, and that was the at bat where he just said shoo 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 shoo. And then if you remember, he threw him one like 60-mile-an-hour curveball. It was like just outside, and they both look at each other and like whew. And then he was like shoo 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 shoo. And Barry hits the one in the cove, and then he takes him deep, and it was like. And they're running, and I'm like, I knew the backstory, and I'm like, no way that just happened in real life.
Yeah, I think that you watch that at bat, it's like, to me, for whatever reason, I don't even know if there was any meaning behind the game, but it's like iconic in my eyes in terms of like baseball history. That's one of the coolest at bats that I watch it at least once, probably more than once a year. I'll probably watch it right when I get off this too. I think that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was a video game. Well, Tarik, awesome catching up with you. We'll get you again in a few weeks. Appreciate the time, dude. Keep crushing it, all right?
Yes, sir. I appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Talk to you soon. That's Tarik Skubal from the Detroit Tigers. We'll be right back.
Hey, everybody. Be sure to like and subscribe for more content.
We're back here every weekday, all year long, so do not miss an episode.
The videos are coming in all day. Here's another video you might enjoy.
baseball the way it should be covered.